YouTube has been bombarded with ads over the years, resulting in users constantly complaining, causing the platform's creators' audiences to click off early. It's gotten so bad that people who used to watch YouTube for hours now limit their watch time entirely. However, what if I told you that YouTube isn't entirely to blame, but that alongside it, YouTube's parent company, Google? To fully understand and grasp why Google is causing YouTube's ad dilemma, we need to venture back to YouTube's past. Back before YouTube Premium, its algorithm, to when it was operated by 3 guys instead of 3 corporations. The year is 2005. Mariah Carey's We Belong Together topped the Billboard, hitting number 1. Star Wars Episode 3 held the title as the highest-grossing film, earning $380 million domestically and $850 million worldwide upon release. But most importantly, our main subject of the story was founded: YouTube. Joed, Chad, and Steve, former PayPal employees, wanted to create an easy video sharing platform that would later go on to become what we know as YouTube. U represented the user, and tube deriving from the North American colloquial term for television. In other words, you and I could upload our own media content. Sadly though, the founders would eventually find themselves passing on ownership of their company via acquisition. You see, when the founders published the platform, the first video uploaded was by Joed, titled Me at the Zoo. This video, though, would later be consumed by the pool of content posted daily on YouTube's server by other creators. It turns out things took a turn, and by a turn, I mean a massive explosion in exponential growth. What they never kept in mind was that YouTube at the time was viewed as revolutionary, being totally free and easy to use gave it traction. Even though this was considered excellent, it came with its problems. Lying in the background behind the scenes were the copyright infringement cases and other lawsuits. Not to mention, cash was required to upgrade and buy equipment to support the maintenance of an ever-growing user base. With no other choice left, they did the next best thing they saw fit: selling YouTube. Luckily for them, a few were willing to acquire their business, but one in particular stood out: Google. According to Business Insider, about a half-dozen players, including the likes of Microsoft, Viacom, News Corp, and Yahoo, bid to acquire YouTube. The acquisition took over 3 weeks, said Gijin Yu, YouTube's chief financial officer. Where Google emerged victorious, securing the company's assets, this took place earlier, when Yu and David Drummond, who is an American lawyer and the former executive for both Google and Google's parent company, Alphabet Incorporated, both met at a Denny's parking lot, Redwood City, California, at 3 a.m. Yu straight up finalized and signed the merger papers on his car hood, while in the middle, a police officer drove up, blaring his sirens, questioning them on what business the two were conducting so early in the morning. "We're signing a merger agreement, sir," Yu said with his hands in the air. Google's acquisition was later announced on October 9, 2006 for $1.65 billion. For YouTube, this became beneficial, as they now had access to Google's resources, including the legal department, which consisted of legal experts to solve copyright cases, accompanied by some of the best engineers to help build and scale their infrastructure to great heights. Still, there was a problem that needed an answer. Up until now, Google contributed its resources to YouTube, but how would the company return that in profits? Google would have made it a subscription app, but that would mean risking millions of users leaving the platform to seek a free alternative. Not seeing that as an option, they cooked up a solution to keep the platform a free streaming service, which is how we arrived at ads. By definition, an ad is a picture, short film, song, etc. that tries to persuade people to buy a service or product. The date is November 2006. Google implemented the YPP, YouTube Partner Program. This is how creators would collect payments through AdSense, the platform that allows monthly withdrawals once the creator reaches a threshold, usually $100 through ad payments. And oh boy, YouTube surely got creative with the YPP ad implementations. these are all the ads listed. If you don't want to know them, you can skip ahead. First off, overlay ads. These resemble TV-style animated ads, which appear at the bottom of the video you're watching. Next up, display ads. They're usually located on the right of featured content and above the suggested list. Thirdly, skippable and non-skippable ads. As stated, one has the ability to be skipped, while the other, quite the opposite. Skippable ads are found within the video player and are showcased before, during, or after your main video, while granting the option to be skipped after 5 seconds. In addition, non-skippable ads range from 15 to 20 seconds, not being skippable before the main video. Similarly, bumper ads have the same concept as a non-skippable ad, with the exception being a 6-second version played at the start. On to in-feed video ads. These are located within several places: search results, watch next section, and home feed. Their purpose is to target your main audience for the advertiser's product or service, depending on viewers' behavior, search, and watch history. For reference, an audience that streams an animal channel, such as the dodo, would be shown an in-feed ad related to pet food. And since they feature pets, YouTube automatically assumes this audience would be interested in your product. Finally, we have the biggest and most effective of them all: masthead ads. Being exclusive, they're reserved for big companies that have the adequate amount to request them through an AdSense representative. The reason behind this is that they're so effective, millions of broadly targeted audiences can view your product or services. Therefore, companies use these ads to maximize their exposure. Think of these like billboard ads, but for YouTube, which is placed on YouTube's homepage, the first page that almost every single user is directed to upon opening the platform. Now, the promo types listed aren't the problem, but the quantity and presentation rate which they're being shown. Users have taken to the Reddit community arguing about its massive increase, leading to the platform becoming unbearable and insufferable. Some even speculate that YouTube might even be heading down the road of becoming a paid service, causing an individual to even switch from streaming hours of content daily to one video each week. This is where our main question comes in. Why are YouTube ads increasing at such an alarming rate? Well, to understand this question, we have to view it from a business perspective. YouTube is a company, don't forget that, but it doesn't stand on its own. It has a parent company, Google. Therefore, it's considered a subsidiary, and if there's one thing about subsidiaries, it's this. Their main priority, like any other business model, is to generate increasing revenue each term, or semester, for their following parent company. To simply put it, in order for the platform to gain active investments from Google, it must show convincing numbers each term, with each improvement being better than the previous one. Right here is data presented by Statista, which proves that YouTube's revenue has improved drastically over the years. From 2017 to 2021, we've seen a steady increase in YouTube's share of Google's revenue, peaking at 11.2%, while there was a slight fluctuation in 2022 to 2023, maybe due to ad spending being slowed down. The opposite happened in 2024, where a sharp increase of 13.66% took place, the largest increase in the entire timeline. According to the website Business of Apps, in 2024, YouTube generated a whopping $36.1 billion, a 14.61% increase year on year. Although they provide subscriptions, ads are considered their primary business model. Makes you wonder if ads are affecting user experience. Why doesn't Google resolve the problem by lessening ads? Well, here's the thing. It accounts for the largest profits. Cutting ads would mean losing adequate amounts of cash, and therefore could lead to the company's investors getting angry. Not Google to be exact, but instead the primary shareholders of Alphabet Inc., Google's parent, who are mainly Vanguard Group Inc., BlackRock Inc., and State Street Corporation. This is why the idea of YouTube becoming a paid service isn't far-fetched, because these investment firms expect constant growth, not stagnant, and the minute you start providing it, you're most likely going to scare away the other side, the consumers, or, even worse, risk destroying your business entirely. We've seen this happen repeatedly with companies such as Netflix. whose expensive plans, like many other streaming platforms, have led to an increase in users falling back on internet piracy to save monthly income. Social media platforms, too, are under heat after documents revealed Meta willingly allowed scam ads to invade its platforms, accounting for 10% of its annual revenue, which benefited investors but affected users. This caused the US Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and UK Financial Conduct Authority (FCA) to launch investigations regarding the problem. When it's all said and done, though, is there any permanent fix to this downside of YouTube? Reddit users advise installing an ad blocker or a browser such as Brave, though this isn't a permanent solution, since it only works sometimes, mainly because YouTube devs consistently update detection methods to tackle such extensions, causing blockages like in-video pop-ups requesting you to disable your ad blocker before proceeding to binge-watch content. But if you want to stream YouTube legally without ads, purchase their premium monthly subscription plan. Well, that's until you discover that premium users can still be shown ads in rare events. Note, I only saw this on Reddit, but I've never experienced an encounter similar to this myself, nor have I seen anything on Google about YouTube showing an ad with an active premium account. YouTube Revanced once seemed legit at the start, but was shut down later after YouTube devs got tired of making updates, where the opposing side always found ways to tackle. This caused Google to put its foot down, sending a cease and desist letter to Revanced developers warning that modifying YouTube's code is a violation of their terms and service, leading to its demise, causing the project to be shut down for good. Still, Revanced exists today because new developers have taken a more decentralized approach to the problem, unlike the original Vanced project. The devs don't modify the app itself. Instead, they make the patcher, which the users apply themselves to the YouTube original app, making it hard for YouTube developers to file a lawsuit because it removes the direct modification of the Revanced developers and instead places it on the patcher. In this scenario, it is the user. So, is there a way to block YouTube ads? Partly, mostly, but if there is one thing I do know, YouTube won't slow their ads, or at least Google probably won't let them.